What if the Neverland sentience became sort of humanoid and had a physical form? What would it look like? Welcome back to Peter Pan Lore and Peter Pan Facts with me, your Peter Pan hobbyist and enthusiast, using my Peter Pan hobbyist enthusiast brain and knowledge to bring you fun facts, lore and trivia, talk about the world of the Neverland, the story of Peter Pan, and answer you guys' questions. I like this one. Let's get designing, shall we? I love this as an idea. Some people have talked to me before about having the sentience of the Neverland as essentially a patron for a warlock in D&D, or as a deity, that kind of thing. And while I wouldn't quite stretch to deity, I definitely think patron of some sort of fey spirit could be quite fun. So yeah, definitely imagining the Neverland as a physical being could be quite fun. The sort of physical representation of the voice of the Neverland, that kind of thing. This is great fun, so let's imagine it. First off, the biggest, most important thing is that it would be chaotic. There will be a lot of movement to it, and the Neverland itself, a bit like Peter, will probably never stay in one place for too long, constantly on the go, constantly on the move. I'm definitely seeing the correlation between Peter and the Neverland here. I'm thinking all the different seasons of the Neverland, which are constantly changing and coming and going, and the snugness and compactness. So I don't think this would be a very tall entity. Be a quite short entity, not quite necessarily Hobbit size, maybe just a little bit taller than a Hobbit, that kind of thing. Quite sprightly too, so very fey looking. So maybe quite spindly, that kind of thing, and very just like a puff of air, and they're going to go and blow away. In terms of what they're wearing and their skin, I think their skin would be almost moving. When I talk about Peter, I talk about how I imagine him having almost a golden version of oil spill skin. So, you know, when you look at an oil spill and it sort of goes all different colours, I imagine Peter to have sort of the colours from the sun and the stars in his skin. So it's sort of a golden orangey glow, and every time he moves it goes more gold and more silver in places. And I can imagine a sentient version of the Neverland looking like that as well. The entity of Neverland looking like that. But instead of it being just gold, it would have loads of different colours through it. So maybe there would be a constant movement of like flurries of frost and glittering snow, and then there would be sort of autumnal colours creeping in, with maybe sort of vines and leaves going down through the skin, and then you'd have sort of summery, golden, bright, sunshiny colours, a bit like Peter's skin, and then you'd have sort of spring, cooler colours with some blues and maybe some cloudiness, and it would all just be sort of a constant movement. Through the eyes as well, I imagine them being very shiny, maybe silver, something like that, sort of silver like beaming starlight, or maybe gold, no, gold actually, gold for the arrows of the sun that shine down on the Neverland, and maybe they've sort of got gold flecks, maybe gold hair too, and it's sort of big but swept, so it's almost going back and up a little bit, along with sort of very long pointed fey ears. Maybe they go with the hair and it's all sort of a big streamlined splash of hair going backwards. You'd also have bits of coral in different places for the coral reefs, something that looks a lot like waves, maybe some water and movement to it, definitely some sort of cape made of cobwebs, a bit like the old Peter Pan costume designs. So cobwebs and leaves and bits of tree sap and things like this, maybe some bark as braces on their arms, and definitely lots of bits of jewellery, for lack of a better word, you know, different bits of natural things that they've got stuck all through them. Definitely bare feet as well, I'm feeling that. No wings, I don't think. I think they'd be a bit like Peter, be able to fly without the wings and go all over the place. And possibly a sort of very natural feeling sort of tunic, but more built into their skin, so it's almost like they're not quite wearing clothes at all. It's all sort of the nature of the world that's been encompassed into their skin, that kind of thing. So that's the vibe I am imagining. How do you imagine the Neverland as a physical entity? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you've got any other thoughts or theories or questions, chuck those in too. And would you like me to create a Neverland patron for you guys to use as your Fae patron in D&D? Let me know in the comments down below.